Thank you for joining me for another quick hits conversation. I'm Dr. Robyn. With me today, I have Stewart Wiggins, George Rotsch, and Alexis Scott. The question I want to ask, how do you apply the saying, life is too short, to your life? And I know in the past, I have used this saying to say, life is too short to drink bad wine. So that's how I've applied it to my life. If wine is bad, I pour it out. What about you?
I think that in my case, I've lived a lot of different lives. And I think that's maybe contributes to that. Life is too short. So I like to I put thought into decisions I make. But once I make the decision, I don't look back. I go forward and do it because, applying that, life is too short. So when I've made decisions, particularly when it comes to business or life, I just do it. Succeed or fail, I do it. And that's how I apply it to the life is too short mantra, at least in my case.
It's interesting because when I think of the question, how do you apply this? I think of a list, and I have a list. And what I've learned over time is I have this list of things I want to go do. And if I keep the list a lot shorter than I used to, I can go find the opportunities that open those doors and jump on them. Instead of 30 things I want to do, there's 6. And this weekend, I'm going to canoeing because it's on the list. Yay! I can see that list. I feel it. It's shorter. I can look for the opportunities and go tackle it. Life's too short for a long list.
That's funny. So, okay, I'm going to venture that I'm the youngest person on this call, but I'm actually turning 40 in February, and I have a list, and my list is called 40 before 40. And so it's a list of 40 things that I want to do before I turn 40. Some are professional goals, some are personal goals, some are travel goals. I mean, it's anything ranging from like ride a horse to visit a new country to go to a hot spring because I live in Idaho and there's 100 hot springs and I've never been to one. So it's just, you're right. It does help me like stay in line with what I want to achieve. But I think the biggest application in my life for life is too short is being in unhappy or uncomfortable situations. Like I refuse to accept unhappiness in any relationship, in my career, what have you. If I have that feeling of this is not right, I am very actionable on it. Like that's just in my nature and in my personality. Like I will not just sit and pout. I will do something.
Mm-hmm. Russ applies this. Russ is my husband, and he applies this in his life, in that similar to you, Alexis, that he doesn't put up with bad relationships. His home is where he wants to feel comfortable and safe and tranquil. And so he has never been in a really bad relationship for any long period of time, which just impresses me because I have failed at that.
Totally.
I think that sometimes what happens is people tolerate bad relationships because there's a feeling that maybe I can make it work.
I know that was true for me.
And now I'll be honest, I don't typically hang around for that because I'm just not good at the bad relationship. But as we apply the question, I think that I still don't know what I want to do with my life. So I want to try to do as many things as possible because I know life is too short. Like Alexis, I've never ridden a horse before. One of these days, I'm going to get on a horse and do it. But there's so many things in this life that I want to be able to try to do. And that's what, in my mind, it's too short to wait. So it's start a business or it's, create a relationship or do something I've never done before because I could walk outside and get hit by a bus and that's it.
That would be inconvenient. George, I want to go back to your short list idea. Is the idea of having a list that's really long, is that because when you go through it, you're like, oh, I could do this, or I could do that, or I have to find time, or why is the short list better for you?
Because I can take the next opportunity and knock it off or pursue it or go for it without trying to sort out when's the best absolute time to go do something. If I've got 12 things on the list, I'm prioritizing where they belong and how to get them all done. When I got 4, I'm just going to knock it off the list. And so to me, it helps me get moving now so that the things get off the list. It's no fun having a long list with nothing coming off.
So when you made it shorter, because you had a long list, how did you pick like 4 or 5 that you're like, okay, these are on the short list?
I had a hip replacement, right? And everything I couldn't do while that hip was not well. As soon as I got it off, I'm in a rush. I knock it off the list just to say I knocked it off the list. I don't have time to go canoeing this weekend, except it's on the list. And there's no real reason not to take 4 hours and canoe down this path, the river that's nearby. And so I just signed up for it. I found 2 friends and the 3 of us are going canoeing, right? A short list gives me reason to not say no.
Well,
I think too, when the opportunity gets taken away from you, you start to realize like, wow, I didn't even know I wanted to do that. But now that I can't, I definitely do. Especially I think physical injury in particular really shows you that. I sometimes have hip issues as well, and I can be lazy and sometimes I don't want to exercise. And then when I physically cannot exercise, I get super upset because I'm, all I can focus on is, dang it, I just want to go on a walk and I can't right now. So it definitely puts things into perspective. I think any kind of medical diagnosis where, you start to wonder about your physical limitations or even lifespan starts to really make you take a peek at what's important to you and what you want to do.
I was just going to say, if this is for the group, then do you want it more if you can't have it?
Human psychology, right? Absolutely.
Well, and I'm wondering what advice can we give? Because I've had this conversation with so many clients. Don't wait till you have a heart attack to drive your fancy sports car. Don't wait until, like, what is it about us that, to your point, George, we end up with a long list and we wait till the perfect time? Like, why? Why do we do that to ourselves?
Because we think we have more time than we do.
Yeah.
And if we don't use the good dishes and save them for another day, we never enjoy the good dishes, right? So in my family, we took all the everyday dishes, now that my kids are old enough not to break everything, took everything off, and we now use the good dishes every day because life's too short, right?
Wow.
One more reminder that you take advantage of what opportunities you have today, and you won't feel sorry or regretful tomorrow.
I have a friend who was given a really, really fancy candle and it was so pretty. And so she was saving it to burn it. So she moved it multiple times. And then one time she moved it and it got left in a box in a truck and it just melted all over everything. So not only was the candle ruined, but so was everything in that box.
That candle's the opportunity for today. If we don't use it, it goes away.
Yeah, enjoy it.
I have lots of bottles of wine. I said to my wife, I said, what's the event? What's the occasion that we're going to pop one of these really great bottles of wine? What are we waiting for?
The sun comes up. That's a good reason.
It's like, it's going to be 5 o'clock later on today.
Well, we have, so my husband used to own a home automation business in Silicon Valley. And so very high profile clients, lots and lots of money. And so occasionally they would just gift him very expensive bottles of wine or champagne just to say thank you or, whatever. And so one of them was this bottle of Dom Perignon and it lit up. So like as the bottle service would come, there's a button on the bottom and you push it and it like lights up, like the logo lights up or whatever. It's really cool. And my husband just was like tickled by this, oh my God, this is amazing. It has sat in our fridge for, I'm not joking you, I don't know, 7-8 years.
Goodness.
Yeah. And I told him, I said, that bottle of champagne is probably bad now. Like we can't even drink it. So he's like Googling, how long does champagne last? And indeed it is not good to drink most likely at this point. And he's like, I guess we're just saving the bottle now. Like, well, we've been just saving the bottle this whole time.
In the fridge, no less.
Yeah,
that's a really good example. So life is too short to save your good dishes or to save the bottle of wine or just like make a reason, find a reason to celebrate life. I think that's a great example of life being too short.
For sure. I always that is one thing I will say. They have a joke at my work because I celebrate everything. So if I can find a reason to celebrate, I will. Oh my goodness, it's Purple Shirt Day. Okay, everybody, wear your purple shirts. We got to have a party. We're going to order lunch for everybody. So any reason that I can find to, come together with people and celebrate, I will. But I guess that is that kind of feeling of just like life is short. Why are we not having fun? Why are we not enjoying ourselves? Why are we not finding reasons to be happy? For sure.
We hear people say it all the time. Life is too short. But how often do we think about how do I apply it? This was a harder conversation than I anticipated it being because it's not something we think about. So thank you so much for making part of your short life, having this conversation with me today. I look forward to having another one with you all again really soon.